Notion has become the app I have to use daily. I'm so happy it just updated its new function, and using this function can take your workflow and productivity to another level. Today, I'm going to share my ways of Notion button function with you. That may change your workflow also. Okay, let's check them now. The first usage I do is creating a new database entry. Yeah, as you know, the biggest feature of Notion is the database function. Because of this function, you can type so many different needs into the database. And in the database, you can filter the data lines through different properties. So on this way, you can just save huge time. That's the way I love Notion so much. It manages data through another dimension, which is totally different from other productivity management app. And now you can use the Notion button to accelerate the data entry option. You can use the Notion button function to create a new entry in a database with just one click. This is perfect for when you want to quickly add a new item without having to navigate to the database and fill out the fields manually. And through Notion button, you can just avoid so much repetitive work. You can turn work into a game now. Add a new task to your to-do list. If you have a to-do list in Notion, you can use the button function to add a new task to the list. This is a great way to quickly capture new tasks as they come up through the day. I always have so many ideas or inspirations when I am in leisure. So when I use the Notion button function to add new tasks on to-dos, it can just save me so much time and get rid of the limitations of devices. Although Notion is an all-device usable, but ultimately, Notion is designed for bigger screens, and there are still some limitations on touchscreen devices. When I use Notion on my mobile phone, it is not good to edit the database, so through Notion button, I solved the problem now. I save presets into the button function and can automatically use it on mobile phones or iPad. Trust me, when you try it yourself, you will figure out the difference. Duplicate the current page. The Notion button function can also be used to duplicate the current page. This is useful if you want to create a new page that is similar to an existing page, but with a few differences. When I began to build the workflow of my whole content creation, duplication is a function I always use. On the one side, it can save me time to do the same work again. On the other hand, it just can help me keep my database organized. When I finish an English blog, I can just use the Notion button to generate a duplicate version of the Chinese version. And I can just modify the Chinese content on an independent page, because there are so many different reading habits between Chinese and English. At some point, when I'm doing the task assignment, I can easily through the Notion button to duplicate the task into the public database to assign to my target colleagues. Move the current page to a different location. If you have a lot of pages in Notion, it can be difficult to keep them all organized. The button function can be used to quickly move the current page to a different location with your workspace. I love the function because I always want my Notion workspace to keep organized, not only for my productivity, but also when I keep the same category together. That just can help me continue to generate inspirations. Through this loop, I can work faster and faster. I will just continue to develop my professions on the different kinds of creation. Create a new linked database. If you frequently link to database in your Notion workspace, you can use the button function to quickly create a new lined database. This is a great way to save time when creating new linked database. When I make video projects, I always start with a script, but the tricky thing is that the video project database and the article database always are independent. So when I want to organize them together, actually it is pretty hard because they are just separate pages. But through the Notion button function, I can just open another page in a very short time. And on the other side, I can also edit another database on the same page. It saves me so much time on switching Notion pages. Generate a new template. If you have a specific format that you use for certain types of pages, you can use the button functions to generate a new page from a template. This is a great way to save time and ensure consistency across your workspace. When I edit the database, I will just make so many different pages sometimes. But when I repeat the page adding process, I will just use Notion button to replace the action. When I set my task database, I need to add a select today's highlight page and today's review page daily. So instead of adding manually, I can just through Notion button to add it. I don't need to type every day, just on clicking. Save me so much time. Another usage, I will use it for setting a new template for the daily habit tracker. After I saved the template for database, I can just click it to add the daily habit tracker template now. Writing snips. It is the new way I create for building my writing system. While taking a shower or working or even just talking with others, I will just come up with so many different inspirations. So when I don't record them, they will just disappear so soon. I built a page in the article writing database named Writing Snips. And on the page, there is a button. When I click it, it just will generate a snip of a colored block. And I can just write on it. When I finish an idea, I can just click it for another one. So many good articles just come from so many writing snips. Adjust the page. The adjust page function can be used in many ways. The obvious way is just to adjust your daily habit tracker. Instead of tapping the small checkbox in the database, you can just tap the button set to check the checkbox of the habit item. Using this way, you don't need to worry about your mobile phone is not the best page screen for adjusting the habit tracker or adjusting other pages. Create workflow. And there are combined options for Notion button settings. When you set the options of Notion button, you can add more than one option at one time. Also, through combining different function buttons, you can create a more complicated workflow. Yeah, that's a magic way of using Notion AI to enhance your workflow's performance. Alright, this is the whole content of this video. I love Notion AI so much. There are so much creativity you can input through Notion button. You can just try it. And if you have more interesting usage ways, just feel free to comment below. Let me know what you are thinking about this kind of topic. And please drop me a like if you think this video is good for you, or share it to someone of your friends if you love to. Turn on the notifications if you don't want to miss out any other upcoming videos, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.